In an industry where big men are commonplace, he still stands out. At almost 7 feet tall, my guest at this time is undoubtedly one of the most genuine monsters of the profession. One half of the feared Brothers of Destruction, he's known for his hard-hitting style and undeniably brutal in-ring abilities, winning the ECW Championship at WrestleMania in only 9 seconds. He is the Big Red Machine, Kane. Hi Kane, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, really good. This is going to be your second trip out to New Zealand in June. Is there any chance you might get to have a look around?
I don't know. Normally our tours are pretty packed. I certainly hope so. After seeing the Lord of the Rings and all the beautiful scenery, it would be pretty cool. But like I said, I don't know. We stay pretty busy.
Yeah. ECW has been a somewhat controversial point with fans since the brand has, in many ways, moved away from what the old ECW and its personalities were famous for. So what does being ECW champion mean for you, for the fans, and for the brand itself?
In all seriousness, I think having someone like me with the notoriety and the history that I have, I think I bring a lot of credibility to the ECW Championship.
Yeah.
And my goal is to help to elevate the brand as much as I can, and to just bring it up.
Yeah. Not
to say this down, but certainly to help ECW realize its potential. And I understand certainly what you're saying, and I just that's what I see. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Speaking of championships, take us back to your famous 24-hour run with the WWE Championship.
Yes, I beat Stone Cold Steve Austin. At the time it was WWF. I beat Stone Cold Steve Austin in a First Blood match at Pittsburgh. I believe he was King of the Ring. It was the same night that Mick Foley was thrown off the top of the cage, and then chokeslammed through the cage. And actually, what was really neat about the whole experience, I mean, being WWE Champion is awesome. But even then, the next night we're in Cleveland, Ohio, and for the Raw television show, and I just remember we had a rematch that night, and the atmosphere was just electric. It was just truly awesome, and I'll never forget either one of those nights. Yeah.
I think that was pretty much the loudest the crowd's ever been on Raw when you dropped it back to Steve Austin.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like I said, I was on the short end that night as far as losing the championship, but as far as having a memory that I'll never forget, and as far as just one of the most exciting nights of my career, unfortunately that was one of them.
You've been involved in some angles over the years where storylines have been pretty outlandish and in some cases even pretty controversial. What's your take on this aspect of the business, and which one of these angles has been the most memorable for you?
I think the Lita angle was probably, the Lita storyline was probably the most memorable because it was pretty compelling television. And, and also one of the questions you get asked a lot is whether you like being a good guy or a bad guy. And the thing about being a bad guy is that you can do anything you want, and that's what all the barriers and the boundaries are down. And in that respect, it was fun, and that's of course like sort of the ultimate bad guy thing. So
this is what I keep hearing. It's good to be bad.
Yes. Yeah. It's just more fun.
Losing the mask, how has that shaped your career since Triple H unmasked you?
Well, I think it added a whole new dimension. A lot of what we do is based on emotion, of course,
Yeah.
And most people read emotion in facial expressions. And with the mask, the best I could do was body language to portray emotion. But now I can use my face as well. And once again, that just adds a whole other dimension and level to the character and removes some obstacles and some barriers that I might have had.
For sure. You mentioned before that of those guys on the current roster, you'd really like to face John Cena. Is that still the case? And if so, why?
Well, yeah. That's another question you get asked a lot is what's your dream match?
Yeah.
And I think I've been in the ring with John Cena twice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 3 times. I think I was in a tag and then a couple of battle royals or something like that. And that's one of the few guys. Everybody else, that I can think of offhand, I've had numerous matches with. So that would be the one guy that I've never really wrestled against. And so as far as just having, you could say, who would it be? It would be John Cena for that very reason.
Yeah. The wellness policy has certainly come to the fore in the last couple of years. How's it affecting the locker room in general?
I think most of the guys, first people complain anytime there's change, but I think for the most part the guys realize that the wellness policy is a good thing, especially someone like me that's been in the business for a long time and has seen some of the things that have unfortunately happened to people time and again. And it's one of those things where over the past few years WWE has tried to up the level of professionalism, and there's just no place anymore in our business for the rock star attitude, of that sort of stuff. I mean, it's just unacceptable. And for that reason, I think the wellness policy is needed, and also on a more personal level, as if, like I said, going back to some of the tragedies that I've seen, if it can help people overcome personal problems, I'm all for it.
Yeah. With your interest in politics, what did you think of Senators Clinton, Obama, and McCain appearing on Raw the other week?
Well, it was...
Is it basically anyone that gets people to vote is a good thing?
Well, I think once again, if you go back to the professionalism and the level of WWE, just the fact now that you have presidential candidates wanting to come onto our show is quite a testament to the power of our brand of entertainment. And actually, I think it was probably better. It was one of those deals where they probably benefited more by coming to onto our show than we may have actually benefited from having them on, because they're able to reach a different audience than they normally would. So it was interesting.
It sure was. For the wrestling fans who are used to great promos, it was interesting.
Yeah.
How'd you find making a movie? Is that something you'd like to try again?
Yeah, it was cool. It was neat. It was really nice being able to sleep in the same bed for a couple months, which hasn't happened to me in years now. But it was different. I mean, and as far as it was neat to do something different, and it was also, for me, it was extremely cool just to see how the whole movie business works and the magic and how it comes together and all that sort of thing. But by the same token, I think all of us in the WWE, all the superstars, you get addicted and you get sort of used to walking out and having that interaction with the fans.
Yeah.
And, that was one thing that I missed. I mean, on the one hand, I came away with new respect for actors because they're in such an artificial environment that they truly are acting. On the other hand, I miss the WWE fans being there with me. So.
Right. WWE are holding tryouts for New Zealand wrestlers when you come out here.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, they were going to do them last time, and then this little carrot got yanked away from our guys. So hoping that it goes ahead this year, what advice would you give to our guys who are hoping for a shot?
You need to be in shape, first and foremost. You need to be in shape, and all you can do is just show everybody what you got.
Yeah.
And just get out there and do it.
Any tips on any specifics that the agents might be looking for?
Not really. I think the thing I always look for is a unique look, but no one ever knows what that is until you see it. So
yeah,
that's sort of a dilemma. If you try to look unique, you're probably not going to. So that's one of those deals. I don't know if people have a whole lot of control over that.
Yeah, right.
And also, just have the wrestling basics down.
Yep.
Which I think some people get a little ahead of themselves, and they try to do the fancy stuff, and they forget about the fundamentals.
Right. Well, Kane, thanks very much for your time. We really appreciate you talking to us, and we're really looking forward to seeing you out here next month.
Well, cool. Have a good time at the show, and I appreciate you guys having me on for an interview.